Hey guys, it's Super Few Games or Adam, and people have been literally begging me to do a 1 to 20 guide for Revelations. And honestly, I was actually doing the 1 to 20 guide for Revelations when the map first came out. But as I was making it, it just really didn't make sense because the video would look a little something like this. Hey guys, it's Super Few Games or Adam, and welcome to my Revelations 1 to 20 guide. Also, make sure you have Immolation Liquidation on and go to the Gobblegum machine until you get Immolation Liquidation. Once you get Immolation, go ahead and pop all 3 of your fire sails and keep hitting the box until you get the Apothicon Servant. So once you get the Apothicon Servant out of the box, you're pretty much good to go. You don't even have to get Quick Revive. Heck, you don't even have to buy perks. All you really need is the Apothicon Servant. Now, if you wanted to upgrade it, you can, but you don't really have to get to round 20. So thank you for watching, and yeah, that was actually kind of easy. Okay, maybe it's not that easy, but getting to round 20 on Revelations, it definitely doesn't need a guide. So I was thinking about it, I thought, why not do a 1 to 100 guide? And it kind of started off as a joke first, but the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to make the video, and here we are. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to get from round 1 to 100 on Revelations, and believe me, it's not as hard as you think. Before we actually start our round 100 run on Revelations, we got to talk about Gobblegums, okay? All you have to put on, guys, is Alchemical Antithesis. This guide, I'm not going to be using Perkaholic or any Mega Gobblegums, really. You can put on Immolation to make things a little bit easier, getting some of the weapons out of the box. But really, you don't need anything besides Alchemical Antithesis. And Alchemical is a classic Gobblegum, so everybody should have this. That's going to help us out in the higher rounds. So once you start up the game of Revelations, the first thing we're going to focus on is getting all 4 corruption engines done. That's just a little easy bit. That's just turning on the power around the map. So what I like to do is round 1, I'll do the first one in spawn. I'll buy the RK5. I'll probably wait there a couple of rounds, get some points, and then I'll go to Horizon Draka. While I'm in Horizon Draka, I'll knock out the second corruption engine. I'll turn 0G on. I'll grab the shield part, grab the Keeper Protector part if you want to. You don't really have to do the Keeper Protector for this, but the shield for sure. Once you do that, head over to Varuksh, grab the shield part there, go over to Mob of the Dead, same thing, final corruption engine, and grab the final shield part, which is located in Origins. Now, once that is done, we can really start setting up for this round 100 run. So once that is done, what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 little things. We're going to build the shield, we're going to grab Jug and Nodster and Toad, and of course we're going to open up the Apothicon so the Pack-a-Punch is now accessible. Now, once that is done, our focus is now going to shift to 3 very important things: perks, weapons, and mask. Okay, the first thing we're going to be going over is the God Mask, because that mask is so overpowered, and it's nice to have something like that when going for such a high round. Getting the God Mask really isn't all that hard. It just takes a good amount of time. That's why I want to talk about this first, because you want to start doing this as soon as possible. You'll probably get it done around 25 to 30-ish, somewhere around there, but the requirements for the God Mask, you have to get 15 Parasite kills, which you can do pretty early, 15 Spider kills, which you can do pretty early, 15 Fury kills, and 15 Keeper kills. I recommend killing the Furies and the Keepers on the special rounds where Parasites, Furies, and Keepers spawn in. In solo, the first wave is going to be only Parasites. The second wave, which should be in the teens, will be Furies and Parasites. And then the third wave, which should be in the mid-20s, will be Furies, Keepers, and Parasites. Also, you need 50 zombie kills. You can do that really early on as well. And 3 Margwa kills. For the Margwas, just spend a bunch of time inside the Apothicon and Margwas will continuously spawn in. And like I said, you should get the God Mask done between 25 and about 27. It all depends when you get that last wave of the Parasites, Furies, and Keepers, because usually Keepers is going to be the last thing you'll need. And once that's out of the way, you have the God Mask. And this thing, you can literally take like 15 hits and not down. This thing is absolutely amazing, and this is definitely a must-have for our round 100 run. It's also worth mentioning that when you're getting these kills, they have to be inside of the Apothicon, and it has to be during the green smoke in the Crane Liquid. That is very, very important. So say you have a Margwa behind you, just run around until the green smoke comes up and make sure you kill him in that green liquid along with everything else you need to kill. So it's time to go over what perks you want to use, and it is worth mentioning that you'll probably have 5 perks. I've come up with a couple of different perk combos that you can use that I'll go over really quickly here. But remember, there is that free perk you can get. So it's any of these 4 perks or any perks you want, really. And then, of course, plus that free 5th one. And we really don't know what one that's going to be. So for the perk combinations, I would recommend using the first one, which is Quick Revive, Juggernog. And we're going to need that if we're playing solo, right? So Quick Revive, Juggernog, Speed Cola, and Widow's Wine, because for our high round strategy, we're not going to be using like regular weapons. We're going to be using wonder weapons, so we don't really need double tap. And Widow's Wine is nice to have just in case you get overrun or something like that. So I really recommend using that first perk combination. The second one is Quick Revive, Jug, Double Tap, and Widow's Wine. So we're sacrificing Speed Cola for double tap, and if you want to use double tap while you're kind of getting set up when you're using regular weapons, you know, that's something you could do. And then you can do an old-fashioned Quick Revive, Jug, double tap, and Speed Cola. So you have Speed Cola when you're going for the high round, double tap when you're setting up, and Widow's Wine, you know, it's nice to have. It's not mandatory, but like I said, guys, I would definitely recommend using this first perk combination. Quick, Jug, Speed Cola, and Widow's Wine. It's perfect. Plus your 5th perk, and you might be able to get double tap from that. If not, those 4 perks work really well. Now, the weapon loadout, it's kind of obvious. You want to get the Apothicon Servant, and of course, you want to upgrade that by shooting the 5 stones around the map. You have 1 in Spawn and 2 in Verrucht, 1 in Shangri-La, and 1 in Mob of the Dead. You also want to have the Thunder Gun, and the Thunder Gun's going to be your secondary. The Apothecon's kind of your primary for killing zombies. The Thunder Gun is great for killing the Panzer when he spawns in. It's right for killing the Margwa. And if you do run out of ammo with your Apothicon Servant and you don't have Alchemical, you can use the Thunder Gun. Ragnarok is also really nice to have because you can get a ton of kills with that. You can use your Ragnaroks and then you can get kills with your Apothicon Servant, and within like 1 or 2 shots, you'll have your Ragnaroks fully charged again, so you can keep using them over and over and over again. And the last thing you want to use are little Arnies. And this is just kind of like just in case you go down and you want to go buy your perks, or you have to run to the Gobblegum machine or something, or even having an insta-kill in the higher rounds and throwing an Arnie and having the Arnie kill the zombies and save ammo. That's also a really good use for that. But those are your weapons. Again, it's kind of obvious, but these weapons will definitely take you to around 100, no problem, especially that Apothicon Servant. It's also worth mentioning that you don't really have to do anything in a specific order, like get the corruption engines done and then get your jug, and then after that, you can pretty much do what you want when you want. You can buy perks whenever you want, you can get weapons whenever you want, you can focus on the God Mask whenever you want. All I'm really kind of telling you is this is what you want to have at the end of your setup. You want to have the God Mask, you want to have the Apothicon, Thunder Gun, Ragnaroks, Arnies, and then your 4 perks, or sorry, 5 perks, whatever those perks are. And then after that, we're ready to get into our high round strategy, our round 100 strategy. And I'm going to share with you 2 very effective high round strategies. So the first spawn is the spawn that people are very familiar with. If you've seen high round gameplay on Revelations, it was probably in this spot right here. And if you want to use this spot, you have to make sure at the beginning of the game you do not open that door in the spawn room that leads to the jump pad that goes to Origins. Keep that door closed, and what you want to do is you want to come around into Origins, take the jump pad from Origins to spawn. That door will be closed, and you'll have 2 windows right there. Now, they've kind of fixed this. Before, they would only spawn in from these 2 windows. Now they spawn in from Origins, and they kind of take the jump pad over, and they land behind you. But if you're shooting your Apothicon Servant shot here, it really isn't a big deal. And that's all you have to do is shoot your Apothicon Servant shot between the 2 windows, and you'll kill everything. The zombies that come from the windows will die, and the zombies that come from behind you will instantly get sucked up into the Apothicon. When it explodes, it just kills all the zombies that are spawning in. And yes, it's a very, very effective spot, but it definitely isn't my first choice. My personal favorite spot for going to round 100 is the spot in Verrückt, and you guys should know about this spot as well, but I feel like it's not as popular as the first spot that I just showed you. With this strategy, as soon as you teleport into Verrückt and you're by the corruption engine, just kind of go straight, and as soon as you see a staircase to your left, go up those stairs. You'll see an electric trap there, and you'll see 2 windows. You want to stand kind of behind one of the windows, and you can see what I'm doing here in the video, and just keep shooting your Apothicon Servant shot between those 2 windows. All the zombies will spawn in those windows, and you'll get Furies and Apothicons spawning kind of by the corruption engine, but all the zombies will spawn in from those 2 windows. And after 40 and 50, you'll really see how many zombies you're killing per shot. And I find this spot to be a little bit quicker than the spawn spot. And you do have a trap here as well, which will kill half of the zombies, which is really nice. And you can use your Thunder Gun, your Ragnaroks on the other zombies coming to the window, or if you have an insta-kill, you can use your Arnies or whatever. So this spot is definitely my personal favorite spot. So now that you're set up, and you've selected your spot or your strategy where you want to go to round 100, I'm going to give you a couple of tips for your journey to round 100, but I do want to mention one thing quickly. Am I going to show me getting to round 100 in this video? And the answer is no. And if you watch my streams, you'll definitely know why, but my game keeps crashing. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Believe me, it's very frustrating. I've been pushing this video back because I've wanted to get to round 100 and have gameplay of that, but my game keeps crashing and there's literally nothing I can do about it. I'm so frustrated. I'm just going to post this video without it because first attempt, I got to like 55, my game crashed. Second attempt, 79, and my game crashed. Third attempt, which was just recently, I got to, actually all of these were recent, honestly. And then my third attempt, I got to round 56 or so, my game crashed. And I wasn't even recording because I was trying to get back to 79. I will show you my 79 game crash, just so you guys know I'm not BSing you, but my game keeps crashing and there's nothing I can do about it. But my 79 attempt, you guys can see, you know, how easy it is to get to round 100 on Revelations. Once you're set up, and especially having that God Mask, it's so tough to die and it's so tough to go down. Even if you do go down, you still have that mask, and that mask is like having Jug. So don't worry if you go down during your round 100 run. So, 2 things. First, always have alchemical antithesis. This is very important. You always want to have that just in case. You know, this round 100 run is a lot easier than other maps, so you don't have to depend on alchemical as much as you do on, you know, DE, for example, but it's really nice to have that just in case. The second thing is watch out for the Panzer, okay? When the Panzer spawns in, there's no warning. The guy just spawns in and he's already attacking you as he is spawning in. So what I recommend you do is at the end of every round, kind of get your Thunder Gun out and aim at where the Panzer will spawn in. The Margwa really isn't that much of a problem because there's warning, and when he does spawn in, all you want to do is like throw an Arnie and use your Thunder Gun to kill him. It really isn't a big deal. If you don't have Arnies, you can run around the map and kill him. No big deal with your Thunder Gun. So those are the 2 things, okay? alchemical at all times, and watch out for the pan. And the last thing I'm going to go over is the Apothecant, Fury, and Parasite rounds in the higher rounds, because the rounds can actually last a long time. A lot of Apothecants, Furies, and Parasites do spawn in. That's when I want you guys to use your Thunder Gun and a couple shots of your Apothecant at the beginning of the round when you have a lot of Furies and Keepers spawning in. And also during that round, that's when I'll hit up the Gobblegum machine and I'll try to get my Alchemical Antithesis back. If I already have 2 Alchemicals, then I won't hit it. But if I don't, if I only have 1, then I'll try to get Alchemical back, or at least kind of have a chance of getting it back the next Parasite, Fury, and Apothecant round. And other than that, guys, like I said, once you get set up, it really isn't hard to get to round 100. All you have to do is sit in your spot, and it will take a good amount of time, maybe like 3, 4, 5 hours, somewhere around there. Like for me, from rounds 30 to about 80, it took like an hour and 50 something minutes. So it really isn't that bad, and you'll be on round 100 in no time. It may take a couple of attempts, but once you guys get the hang of it, you should have absolutely no problem hitting round 100 plus on Revelations. So anyways, guys, that is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, like always, make sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Black Ops 3 Zombies content. Peace out.